national debt of Japan being, what, 200% of GDP?
Gross debt is over 200% of GDP.
Wow. Now, number one, how did Japan get into this situation, and is the United States on the same trajectory?
We're on the same trajectory. I think we're going to change. Our system is much more responsive. But what you had in Japan, especially after the 1980s, was they misread their economic situation entirely, put on massive taxes on real estate, destroyed that. They thought it was a bubble. It really wasn't, but they destroyed that. And then they felt, gee, we have an aging population, we must get money set aside for them, so they started raising taxes. They put in a consumption tax. The voters hated it, but every time government gets in, so powerful is the bureaucracy, they subvert the elected officials. Now the Prime Minister there has just gotten through doubling the national sales tax over the next couple of years. He will, the way has been pointed out, the way you remove prime ministers in Japan is not with a vote of no confidence, but you drum up a scandal. So he'll get a scandal in a couple of months and throw him out, and they go on and on and on. But raising taxes, Japan's one of the most highest taxed nations in the world.
Now, does Japan have a lower corporate tax rate than we do now?
They
is that right?
lowered it slightly, but then they took away so many of the exemptions that businesses weren't that much better off. And then what Japan did on the payroll tax, on the capital gains tax, which is, if you get that wrong, that does a lot of damage to your economy. We saw that in the U.S. in the 1970s when ours went up to 40–50% maximum rate. Government is always portrayed as, even though it may be big, inefficient, its heart's in the right place. It's there to try to help you. Its intentions are good. It's in favor of people who don't have. It's in favor of the poor. It tries to take rough edges off the markets and get the greedy fat cats in line. So yeah, they don't do a very good job, but their intentions are right. Whereas they portray free markets as inherently unstable, based on greed, amoral if not immoral. The book takes the opposite tact and shows that it's free markets that are moral. Free markets that remove barriers to people getting ahead, increasing our sense of humanity, increasing generosity, breaking down barriers between people, opportunity, innovation, creativity. It is government that's short-sighted, government that's greedy, government that hurts the poor. So it says the image that government tries to pin on the private markets, government is guilty of those things.
Now, what is one of the examples you give in the book?
Well, take the way they funded Social Security. They're there to help retirees. Take the way they put on piles of new regulations, which hurts job creation, which hurts those trying to rise up. And so when you, an unstable dollar, it helps the government subsidize its debt. And and government is on the here and now. So it's no surprise. They are there to serve their constituencies. So they fund a Solyndra, $500 million. It could have gone elsewhere. And they're responsive to very narrow groups that are power groups.